Hey everyone, this is Marcin Lewandowski and you're watching the TurnedVC Show Season 2. TurnedVC is all about going places, having fun, and meeting some amazing people that turned entrepreneurs or venture capital investors. Today we are in amazing Barcelona where it all started, and we have some great people on the show. Give it up for Rocío Alcocer, the managing director of Norrsken Barcelona, and Alex Berriche, the co-founder of Fleet, scout for Sequoia Capital, and one of the most active investors, angel investors in Europe. Let's check it out, guys. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to Norrsken.
Amazing. I love the space. Hey guys, we are inside the Norrsken House Barcelona with the one and only Rocío. Rocío, so I know that you took, your startup Tapwater from 2 people in the room to a global movement in 80 countries, and now you're running the biggest impact hub for startups in Europe. What was the biggest plot twist in your career so far, or the craziest story? Or maybe, how does it kind of translate into what you're doing now?
There's been a lot of plot twists. So I started in investment banking, and then like I told you, then this switch came to be about 13 years ago, and within these years I was an ecosystem builder, so helping entrepreneurs and corporates. Then I became a builder myself and a founder, and now I'm back into ecosystem building. So tons of twists and turns and plot twists, but I think one that really comes to mind because just it was so recent, it's while building Norrsken. The first phase of the project was this building that we're in right now was a completely different space. No? So for the first few months, my job was be entoured by architects, constructors, contractors, looking at materials, looking at very physical things. And I remember the day before opening, we opened on the 30th of October, which was a Monday. The 29th, I came here and it was like empty, a Sunday. And it was like, okay, this is the last day that I'm going to see this building like this. So like take it all in, because the plot twist is happening tomorrow when we're welcoming 500, it was 500 back then, entrepreneurs that are building solutions for some of the world's largest problems. And from one day to the next, my job became from like being completely hands-on, moving chairs, to then a bit of that too, but also building a community, a thriving community. So
that is huge. That's such a great story. Rocío, let's check the place out. Show us around a bit.
Let's do it.
So Rocío, Barcelona is already this superstar city of sangria and startups, and now startups. What was the thing, the one thing that doesn't have to be one thing, I always say one thing. So what was the secret sauce maybe, or secret weapon of Barcelona that made you think, okay, this is the perfect place for Norrsken's biggest hub?
Like I said, it's a combination, so definitely a sauce and not one single ingredient in the case of Barcelona. I think the city has this mix of creativity, innovation, and a love for life that's very special.
Love for life, I love it.
And it's also like deeply rooted in traditions, but also incredibly forward-thinking. No? So you mentioned it's growing startup ecosystem. It's also very well connected. The access to nature and the sea, it also makes it a very attractive city to retain and also to attract talent. But I think one special thing that we don't talk about enough is that there's also amazing building blocks that makes the city great, like incredible design schools and business schools, state-of-the-art research centers. There's more and more capital flowing in the city. So I think at the intersection of all of these disciplines is where the magic can happen in terms of solving some of the world's greatest challenges.
Amazing. You sold Barcelona to me. I mean, you didn't have to sell it to me. I actually live here.
And I'm from Madrid also, so
Yeah.
I'm not biased, just as a disclaimer.
Amazing, amazing. That's coming from a person from Madrid. It's a huge compliment to Barcelona, guys. So, Rocío, is there any story that you think will always make you laugh?
Yes, yes.
Tell us.
And it didn't happen to me, it happened to a colleague, but I think it's very representative of the journey because I was on the other side. So at some point we were in the middle of building, and I think when you're building startups, it's the same. You want to solve an issue, and at some point when you're in the middle of building, you're like, I don't know if I'm going in the right direction. I might even be making this problem worse.
Yeah.
You know, and in construction, it's very evident because at some point you have a building that's more or less okay, but it's not what you want it to be. And then you start kind of destroying it partially to be able to make your vision come true. So there's a moment of this where everything is in shambles. Imagine, like picture this, the building full of dust everywhere, cables falling from the ceiling, the floor open to be able to also bring cables to the ground. And I had a colleague, Julia, who was showing the space to entrepreneurs to show them what we're trying to build, to make, in case they wanted to join us from the beginning. And at some point, she was telling all these stories about the biggest hub for impact and tech. Of course, everyone's wearing helmets, vests, like the setting is terrible, and they stopped her, and you're like, you know, you have a very hard job, right? And just like, okay, this story always makes me smile because now we get completely different reactions when we get in this space, but I know where we came from and that it wasn't that easy. And
you gotta sell the vision there, you know, and paint that vision in people's minds.
Exactly.
How it's gonna look. Yeah, this is a completely different job.
Exactly, but it was very hard back then. It's a bit easier now when you see the community that there's here and the events and you see it, how it has come to life. Back then it wasn't the case.
Amazing. I love it here, Rocío. Can't wait to see more. Let's go.
Let's go. Juanquita, vamos.
Rocío, you've named your dog Wanga after Wangari Maathai, like the legend of activists. What's one lesson that you learned from her legacy that you carry on into your work today?
So many lessons because she was like an incredible human being. But one of the things that she used to say, and I'm going to butcher her words, it's not like that, but she was saying something like, it's the little things that citizens do. And in my case, my little thing is planting trees. And she used to say this, but then she carried on to create the Green Belt movement. And thanks to this movement, there's been more than 50 million trees planted. Thousands of women were giving a job, a way of supporting themselves, a voice in their communities.
Yeah.
And for me, it's just this thought of one step at a time, and like the one tree thing that really resonates, because we're like facing so many challenges in the world that feel very big. That is, how can we create the space for entrepreneurs to take that first step? Because it's the one tree by one tree that matters, and there's moments in the entrepreneurial journey that you feel you're doing great strides, but there's moments where you're not, and it's like, okay, today I'm just planting one tree, and that's enough. But we need to plant that tree to keep going.
I love it. Where is Wanga?
Juanquita,
Hey, Wanga.
Juanquita,
Wanga also loves trees.
do you want to make her do some treats?
Oh yeah, this is what I'm here for.
Wanga, pretty. Good girl. Touch. Yes. High five. Yes. Here's one that I really like. Wanga, pray. Good girl. Yes. Good girl. Okay. Yay! Good job.
This is awesome. So Rocío, we know that you've been involved in basically everything here. Let it be the design of the space. We are now at the Social Club. Maybe you can tell us more about what the Social Club is.
Yeah, so we say that Norrsken Club is the social club for an impact generation. What we mean by this is we want it to be a space to connect, to collaborate, to meet with other people that have similar questions about where the future is going and how to build solutions to make the future better. Yeah. So basically it's a space for entrepreneurs, but also for investors, for politicians, for corporates, anyone who wants to be part of the conversation on how to build a better tomorrow. Is welcome to come here, and you'll see that it's very different from the offices. Yeah. It's basically just like a big living room where people can have meaningful conversations around food, around drinks, like we're going to do now, to come to events and to meet other people.
Sounds amazing. And look at this food, guys. I can't wait to try it. Speaking about food, Norrsken believes that impact and profit is like peanut butter and jelly, inseparable, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe you can give us an example of a startup that is maybe based here, that is, that you think is the perfect recipe for this kind of combination.
This is terrible. You can't make me choose one. This is absolutely impossible. But I'll tell you at least what the magic recipe is and then give you a few examples, because I cannot say just one. But we're basically looking for startups that have a technological base or scientific base that are scalable. And like you said, where there is a one-to-one relationship between their economic growth and the impact they're having in the world. Yeah. So that as they grow and they scale, they have more impact. Yeah. That's kind of the basis. And then we have companies working in healthcare, in climate, biodiversity. A few examples of some that have their home right now here in Barcelona House are Biors, for example. They're developing an AI assistant that helps in the clinical trial journeys, and they help both patients and healthcare professionals. And that one is very exciting. We also have another one called Delphos, and they're helping renewable energy plants to become more efficient and more predictable as well, and smart. That's another one that I love. And another great example that they just left, and that's great because it's kind of what we want for some of these companies to become so big that eventually they they graduate and move on to their own space. It's called Ocean Ecostructures. Actually, Norrsken also invested in them. And they're building these incredible structures that they put in the bottom of the sea. For example, when there's wind turbines that are built in the middle of the sea, and these structures are added to the wind turbines to regenerate marine life around them, so that every time there is a human intervention, instead of leaving the place worse than it was, we leave it better because we regenerate marine life.
I love it. I love the examples. Rocío, fast forward 5 years from now, what's your dream for Norrsken? What would you like to see? Like, what impact do you think you'd like to see it make in the world?
So, I mean, we're in a pretty critical time to be alive, I'd say. We've already crossed 6 out of the 9 planetary boundaries, according to the Stockholm Resilience Center. We're going through the 6th mass extinction. Like it's pretty daunting when you look at the news, but we already talked about it that Barcelona has a lot of building blocks and the tissue necessary to create solutions for a better tomorrow. So I'd say my ideal vision for Barcelona 5 years from now is that it emerges as a global beacon of this new narrative of progress, where we're seeing solutions and thought leadership coming from the city that will help build healthier societies that thrive within the planetary boundaries.
And given all these doubting challenges that we're currently facing, climate change, species extinction, you name it, what makes you believe that entrepreneurs are actually the ones to save the day?
I mean, there is really no silver bullet, and everyone needs to come together, governments, corporates, entrepreneurs, in finding solutions. But why entrepreneurs are our best bet, in my opinion, it's because they have two ingredients that fuel them that are very powerful. One is ingenuity. Very often entrepreneurs, when they see a problem, they see an opportunity, but also they're very often blind by the constraints that the traditional industry has of looking at that problem. And I think that's very, very powerful and very useful as an entrepreneur. So to approach problems like a kid with ingenuity. And the second one is perseverance. Honestly, especially when we're talking about mission and impact-driven entrepreneurs, they're generally attached to the problem at an emotional level, to the point that's helping them overcome the hurdles that will come along the way and make them much more prepared to do that, because they're more resilient, because they really believe in what they're doing. So I think these two ingredients, ingenuity and perseverance, are key and are what are going to help them and us solve these challenges.
I love it, Rocío. I've been loving having you on the show. Thank you so much for joining us. Everyone, clap for Rocío. It's a wrap. And to you and to Norrsken Barcelona and to all the entrepreneurs, I was going to save the day. Cheers.
Especially for the entrepreneurs.
Exactly. Guys, we are here. Here's where. Here's actually at Time Out Market in Barcelona. As you see, it's not a very sunny Barcelona today, but we're enjoying it. It's a beautiful terrace with a view on port. And we are here with the one and only Alex Berriche, the co-founder and CEO of Fleet and Sequoia Capital Scout investor. Alex, how's it going?
Very good. First of all, thank you for having me, and hi everyone. I'm very happy to be here, even if we don't have the best weather. But
come on, is this kind of weather even in Barcelona?
It's not the worst view. Like, we're quite lucky, no?
Right? There are better. There are worse views than that. Alex, what are you doing in Barcelona?
Yes, so I came yesterday. So as you know, Fleet, like our HQ is in Paris, and we opened our first international office in Barcelona.
Really?
Since it, we opened an office in Berlin and London as well.
Nice.
But Barcelona is a very important office for us, so I wanted to visit the team. And I made an event also yesterday.
And when did you open the office?
We opened the office almost 2 years ago, I would say.
Okay.
So 2 years and a half or something, and it's doing very well.
Nice.
From this office now, we start to cover like Italy, Portugal, so it's becoming a smaller hub for us.
Alex, for those who don't know, if you had to pitch Fleet in 1 minute, what would you pitch about?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay.
So Fleet in a few words, like we are the IT as a service solution for any startup and SMB. So it means like we are helping startup and SMBs to equip with computer, laptop, tablet, and so on. Equip, manage, and renew all those assets. So we have an all-in-one solution that does financing, so leasing. We do warranty, we do insurance, we do cybersecurity from a SaaS. So basically, like you are a small startup or SMB and you are growing, or even a bigger one, and you are hiring people all around, and you need to externalize IT because IT is not your core topic, no? You prefer not to take care of it, so you externalize it to Fleet and we take care of everything. Awesome. And I know that you're also taking care about sustainability a lot. How do you do that? So, we think like today it doesn't make sense to build a business model without taking into account sustainability. Right. So that's beautiful. It's part of the demand of our clients. So we try to bring it in every aspect of the value chain. We say we simplify acquisition, management, and renewal. So on acquisition, we offer clients the opportunity to buy new product, but we also offer the opportunity to buy refurbished product if they want. But we go for the highest quality one because they're gonna work with it, so they need good quality product. Then management with the warranty and the insurance, we make sure to maximize the lifetime of the product, so like they can keep it for longer versus if they don't use fleet. And finally, renewal, we get the product back and make sure like we give it a second life. Either we give it to some association, or we resell it, or if they are fully broken, we recycle them. So in every aspect of the value chain, we try to bring sustainability, and we think it's important and it's a client demand.
This is amazing, and I totally agree. Like nowadays, it doesn't make sense to build any business without taking sustainability into consideration and like building sustainably.
It's a massive trend.
Right.
And it's the demand of the market, so you have to
100%.
answer this. And
it's not even like a trend. I'd call it like, come on, climate change is like the single most, like the biggest threat that we are kind of facing. We have to, like, if you're not doing anything about climate change, then what are you doing? Right? So I love to hear that.
Part of our value at Fleet, like we have a few values, and one of them is, responsibility. Like when you build a successful business, you have some responsibility towards, the world. So you have to do the goods and act for the best for everyone. So we put it as one.
And I can imagine even now, like as a soon father to be, you care about even more because you want your daughter. I know that it's going to be a daughter, guys. I'm not going to reveal the name. No, you didn't tell me. There's a French thing that you don't tell the name, right?
Yeah, we don't tell the name in France, so
until the last day.
I can't reveal it in the podcast. Like
no, please.
My wife will kill me.
Your wife would kill you.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm supposed to keep it for myself, so I can't say
that's
it.
good. It's Okay, so like even now even more than ever probably, I don't know, at least that was the case with me when when my daughter was born, and now like she's 4 years old, and my like generally goal in life is to help build a happier, better, and more sustainable future that she's going to be excited about living in. So to hear from you also, and generally I hear it a lot these days that like this is the most important thing. Like it generally doesn't make sense to build any kind of business without taking sustainability into consideration, or like putting sustainability in the core of it. Doesn't make sense. So it's great to hear that, man. Let's talk about your investing experience. I've heard that you're up and coming new investor in Europe. How's it going? You're investing?
Yes, super well. So to me, investing is more...
I'm joking. Like he's the most active. Like, come on, how many deals have you done so far?
Yeah, maybe 150 or something.
It's 150 investments.
Yeah, it's
right?
quite much. Yeah.
You're the most active startup investor in Europe.
Maybe.
Angel investor.
Maybe.
And so you started investing. Have you been investing before Sequoia, or you started investing with Sequoia Capital?
Yeah, so I started investing even before launching Fleet. I made my first venture investment in my previous company, and I always was attracted by it. I wouldn't have never imagined that it takes such a big importance in my life when I started. But I started maybe investing 6 years ago, and partner with Sequoia just for 3 years. So I think and if one day I don't work with Sequoia, I will keep working by myself. For sure.
100%.
So it's more. To me it's a passion. It's a way also. I don't do it for the money and for the return. Obviously, I try to finance and look for the best company, but I do it more by passion, and it's really driving for me to meet the best entrepreneur, learn from them. It's a lot of learning for myself. As you know, at Fleet, we don't have investors, so it helped me to go out and come back with fresh ideas. I don't have a board, so like investing keep me, up to date of the latest trends. And love spending time with entrepreneurs, learning of their vision. I think it's a privilege, sometimes like I'm sitting with an entrepreneur like we are sitting, and just to be in this secret where he tell me his long-term vision, like most of the time it's super ambitious people, and they say, I imagine a future like this, and I imagine I'm gonna have this impact in the world. Of course, like one time out of 50 it really worked as they imagine, but just to be in this secret of world-changing, category-defining business.
And thrilling, right? It's
like
exciting.
Listening from the entrepreneur, it's a huge privilege. It's a lot of learning for myself, and it's also a way to give back and promote this entrepreneurship culture. No, you say like when you have kids, but even before that, I was always, like wanted to promote a bigger entrepreneurship culture in France and in Europe. So it's a way for me to push this culture. And
I love it. And how did it all start? Like, why actually? How did you get into this world? Like, how did you get into startups, into entrepreneurship, and then investing? What was first, entrepreneurship or investing?
So first, I was really attracted by entrepreneurship, and so I made some internship. So I made the first internship, like business development in Hong Kong for a startup. When I was like 19 or 20, I was alone in Hong Kong trying to sell them, and it was really fun. And then I realized, maybe I need a bit more training to be a bit more financial savvy, to be sharper. So I went back to a more classic curve. So I went to audit, and then I went to private equity. And in private equity, after 1 year, I was like, this is not for me. It's a lot of learning in terms of how to analyze the market, how to analyze the business. So it's really insightful. But at the same time, I wanted to do. I'm a doer, and I love to do stuff. So then I went to Rocket Internet. Back then, Rocket Internet was just hiring those many young guys from consultancy, from finance, from investment banking, and bring them to launch some venture in Africa, Asia. So I went there in Africa for Jumia, like the first unicorn of Africa, was head of operation for North Africa, based in Casablanca, Alger, and Tunis.
I didn't know that. We didn't talk about it.
Yeah, I was on the ground in those markets.
This is amazing. I love it.
So it was, really fun, like super entrepreneurship. I remember one day we launched, like Black Friday for the first time in Africa, Jumia, like we promoted.
That's
and
so cool.
It was a mess, like we had so many orders, and it was really entrepreneurship, really doer, and it was e-commerce business, so like you need to handle stuff. So there I got really connected to doing stuff with my hands, And then from there I had this passion of, like launching one day something by myself. And I did it with Fleet, and this passion reinforced itself with investing.
Alex, I know that you're also, at least I saw that you're also late-stage investor in OpenAI. How did it come about?
Yeah, so it's a fun question. So when I started investing, I think my first deal was one of my best friends, like I basically grew up with. He's almost a brother. We met when we were 2 years old, and we were in the same class until we even went to the same university together. So we had like very similar trajectory. When we started our career, and we did this internship in Hong Kong, I mentioned about when we were together there. He went after university to something called pre-IPO investment, and he joined this firm where he gave me the opportunity when I was young to invest pre-IPO in Spotify, Pinterest. And I missed with him because I didn't have the minimum size ticket he was requiring to invest in Palantir and Airbnb. And a few months back, he called me back and said, hey, I have this opportunity to invest in OpenAI pre-IPO. So we basically build an SPV together and let some people invest with us. So we have a few friends joining. So we did that in OpenAI 2 times.
This is amazing.
And we are doing it now in Unreal, and we are planning to do it soon in Stripe, SpaceX, and and we created a community. I can share the link in the comments of your post. But we create a community called Blue Chip on Roundtable. Roundtable is also a startup invested, which helps investor to build community and help people invest with them. And this community is called Blue Chip, meaning we're gonna help start investor to invest in the blue chip leaders, so Stripe, SpaceX, OpenAI.
Is it only is it kind of democratizing the investment?
Exactly, So anyone can invest from 10K or 20K small tickets in OpenAI, awesome. Stripe, SpaceX, Unreal, Databricks. So we're gonna find a small allocation and help people invest with us.
Alex, this is amazing. I love it. What's next for you? What's next for Alex Berriche? What's next for Alex Berriche?
It's a good question. Today, I'm expecting a third child, as you say, say what's next?
That's a big deal.
I'm feeling really privileged, as I say, I enjoy what I'm doing, so I'm lucky to have a successful startup with Fleet, which is growing bootstrap organically, and we are growing very nicely, and it's really exciting. So there's a lot of new things happening there. Like I told you, we opened a London office. Now we are looking to start going in the US little by little. So make Fleet something bigger and bigger little by little. It's really exciting. Keep investing in the best startup is exciting. Start to do more SPV investment opportunities, either in late stage company or Series A company could be interesting to bring more people with me. And for now I'm really focused on this. I'm feeling myself very lucky to can do all this at 33 years old. I'm quite
still young.
Yeah.
The purpose of this show is to actually inspire the next generation of young people by telling stories of great people, of great entrepreneurs and investors, and by that attracting the young people, young talent. And therefore, I'm super happy to have you on the show, and thank you so much for taking the time and spending some time with us in not so sunny Barcelona, guys. There was a bit heavy rain. Thanks, man. Thanks so much.
Thanks a lot.
And I know that soon you're going to Ibiza. I hope it's going to be better there, right? You need some better weather.
We are telling young people, no, like you can be an entrepreneur and have a good life.
Like waiting for your shot to come, but Ibiza is going too. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate.